When Pilate said these words, "What is truth?" how did he say them? Some people suggest that maybe Pilate was speaking in a reflective state of mind and pondering, even just for a moment, what Jesus was talking about, the philosophical reality of truth. I feel like that might be giving Pilate too much credit. I think he said these words rather dismissively. You're talking to me about truth? What is truth? Certainly, this is the mindset of so many in our culture today. What is truth? Our culture feels like nobody really knows what the truth is anyway. You have your truth, they say. I have my truth. Christians say one thing, Hindus say another thing, Muslims say another thing. Who's to say who's really right? In fact, our society says if you think you're right and you think your truth is the only truth, well then you're arrogant and narrow-minded. Our culture says we all have a truth, we all have a story, and so we need to affirm everyone's truth and everyone's story because there really is no meta-narrative. There's no big story that is over everything else. Everybody's truth and everybody's story are all equally valid. But there are so many problems with that kind of thinking, and the biggest problem with it is that that's just not how truth claims operate. Yes, we all have different experiences. We all have had different viewpoints that have been shaped by those experiences. That is all true, and it does shape the way we approach the truth. It shapes the way that we receive the truth when we hear it. But church, there is still such a thing as truth, and it is true whether we believe it or whether we reject it. When it comes to religious claims and statements about spiritual realities, those statements are either true or they are false. Either there is a God or there is not a God. And so if someone says my truth is that there is a God and someone else says my truth is that there is not, someone's truth is false. The same thing is true about Jesus. Either he is the Son of God or he is not. It is either true or it is false. And friend, the Bible says, and for a lot of reasons, I believe that the Bible is true in all that it says, that Jesus is the Son of God, and that your eternity and mine is dependent on whether or not you come to accept the truth that Jesus is the Son of God who died on the cross and rose again. What's ironic about Pilate's question, what is truth, is that he was asking it to the one person who could have completely and perfectly answered his question. In fact, he was asking his question to the person who is truth incarnate. Just a few chapters before this, Jesus would say these words to his disciples: I am the way, the truth, and the life. No one comes to the Father except through me. Jesus could have answered Pilate's question, what is truth, by saying, I am. But he knew that Pilate wasn't ready to hear that answer. He wasn't ready to accept it. And friend, the question is, are you ready to accept it? Am I? That Jesus is the truth. That Jesus' story is the story, that it is the meta-narrative, the big story that all of our little stories are just a part of. And as the title of this series suggests, that our lives find their meaning in the way that we respond and whether or not we are brought into his story through faith in Jesus, the way, the truth, and the life.